Revised narrative with journalistic elegance. Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today, we continue a story that has moved hearts across every corner of our community. In this chapter of Lie Too Deep and CEO James, we return to a world woven with hardship, devotion, and the unyielding call of love. In the previous episode, we witnessed one of the most gut-wrenching moments in their journey. Diep, a woman known for her indomitable strength and resolve, collapsed alone in the heart of a cold, rain-soaked forest. Her body failed her, but her spirit held on, whispering one name as the darkness crept closer: James. In the previous episode, we witnessed one of the most gut-wrenching moments in their journey. Diep, a woman known for her indomitable strength and resolve, collapsed alone in the heart of a cold, rain-soaked forest. Her body failed her, but her spirit held on, whispering one name as the darkness crept closer: James. In her fevered haze, she dreamed of him, his arms wrapped around her, the ache of solitude finally silenced. But when she opened her eyes, the warmth was gone. The forest was real. The dream was not. And James? Miles away, something pierced him. A sudden, inexplicable dread gripped him. His heart knew what his mind could not explain. Without hesitation, he left behind everything and set off into the unknown. He didn't have a map, but he had love. And love, sometimes, is compass enough. Every step James took beat in rhythm with a silent plea: Diep, just hold on. This episode is a turning point. As time becomes a race against death, as breath turns shallow and distance stretches unforgiving, the question grows louder: will James reach her in time? That morning, after a night of fever and torment, Diep stirred. Her body, hollowed by fatigue, ached with every breath. Yet hunger clawed at her ribs. She had to survive, not for herself, but for James. On trembling legs, she staggered into the forest, searching for anything to stave off the hunger. And then, hope. A wild tree laden with crimson fruit. Birds danced among its branches. If they could eat it, maybe she could too. She whispered a prayer and ate, slowly. But the strength it gave was not enough. Minutes later, she collapsed again. There was no one to hear her fall. No one to call her name. Her body lay still, nearly lifeless on the forest floor, dusted with leaves and rain. Once full of radiant life, she now seemed a shadow. But fate had not finished speaking. At that very hour, a woman, humble, worn by sun and time, was returning from the fields. She noticed something strange in the brush. A body. She rushed forward, heart pounding. A breath, faint but real. The girl was alive. Without hesitation, the woman wrapped her shawl around the unconscious figure, lifted her onto her back, and began the climb home. Each step was a vow, don't die. Stay with me, and so, through dusk and compassion, Diep was saved. In a bamboo hut, the woman lit a fire. She boiled water, cooked porridge, and crushed healing herbs. Through the night, she sat by Diep's side, feeding her in tiny spoonfuls, wiping her brow, whispering hope into the silence. You're still young, she murmured. Someone must be searching for you. By morning, a miracle stirred. Diep opened her eyes. Confused, weak, but alive. Her savior sat beside her, smiling. I found you in the forest. I was afraid I was too late. Tears welled in Diep's eyes. I don't know how to thank you, she whispered. You don't have to, the woman replied gently. As strength returned, Diep asked, how far is the nearest town? 30 kilometers, the woman said. Once you pass the forest ridge, there's a road. Buses run there. Diep's eyes lit up. 30 kilometers to James. The woman offered to drive her on an old motorbike, but Diep shook her head. You've done enough. One day, I'll return, not just to repay you, but because I want to. The woman smiled. If you leave in peace, that's enough. Diep stared out at the small yard, sunlight dappling the earth. A memory flashed, the red-fruited tree. Auntie, that tree I ate from. What was it? It's edible, the woman said. Locals make jam or wine. You were just too weak. Hope sparked. Could she harvest and sell them? With a borrowed basket, Diep returned to the tree. She picked each fruit gently. Later that day, she sat in the village market. Strangers tasted, smiled, bought. It wasn't much, but it was enough. Enough to survive. Enough to keep walking toward James. That night, with warm coins clutched in her hand, Diep looked to the stars. James, she whispered. I'm still coming. Don't stop waiting. He returned to her old house. It was silent. Rain-drenched. Empty. Still, he swept the porch, lit a fire, placed food for a stray cat. Not because he knew she'd return today, but because he hoped she might. He sat on the porch, eyes lost in the mist. Diep, he whispered. I'm still here. Then, unable to stay still, he rode to the home of her aunt and uncle. Perhaps she had returned there. But no. We haven't seen her, they said gently. James sat, crushed again by silence. And yet, search teams under Officer Lee had not stopped. And then, news, a woman had found a girl. Weak, alone. She had saved her. Diep was alive, and she had left just yesterday. James heard the words. Then dropped everything and ran. A man lost in fear, but a man ablaze with hope. And as he rode toward the place where love last left its mark, the question lingered. Will he find her? Will she turn, just in time, to see him there? Stay tuned for the next episode, where love, after all its waiting, may finally touch home. Don't forget to subscribe. You won't want to miss the moment when heart meets heart, and time finally stands still.